Welcome back to another episode of Talking Television. Tonight we're talking about episode 5 of Big Little Lies.
Yeah, season 2.
Yep, season 2. This one's titled Kill Me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very lighthearted.
Yeah. Same thing with the rest of the season. It's all
Yep.
very lighthearted issues, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they didn't spare, any any drama in this episode.
No, there was no downtime really either. It was just, one thing after another, just leading right all the way up to that cliffhanger.
Yeah, they finally had a good cliffhanger. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end, but good job for them.
Yeah, so this was a pretty short episode. We saw it was like 41, 42 minutes maybe of actual content.
Yeah, I think they struggled to
Might even
to
been
fill
less
it.
without the previously on at the beginning too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like Warrior time frame. Warrior has some really short episodes too. Yeah.
Yeah, they bounced around a little bit. Well, we started off with, I guess let's focus on, Celeste and Mary Louise a little bit to get things started. They have a pre-trial to kind of determine, basically the whole custody thing. And Mary Louise just wants to get right into there and start. Oh, she's very nice, I don't want her to, make it seem like she's a bad person.
Yeah, she's a good parent too.
But she shouldn't have the kids.
Right. What'd you think about that one, Amber?
Like you guys said, she's very does the very nice, but under the radar, tries to be nice about it, but damn well she's just gonna do everything in her power to take the kids.
Super backhanded, yeah.
Yeah, very backhanded. That's exactly it. And she stored everything up and used everything she can against her to try and turn the friends against her. Stores everything she can find up on them.
And you know what? Everybody's been nice to her. We mentioned last episode, inviting her into the house and everything. Finally somebody speaks up and calls her out on her shit. And it was, walking down the street and they saw Mary Louise and who was it, Madeline?
Madeline.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
It just called her out on her shit. I'm like, finally somebody does this.
And as soon as Madeline did, all Mary Louise did was look at her and walk away as fast as she possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't take it. Just took off.
Yeah, it took some time. She was in there. She got all sorts of ammo. I think not only just against, Celeste and possibly Jane, but all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We know that she's trying to clear, her son's name. And yeah, I think she got a good amount of, dirt on all of them. So
yeah, and if you step back and you don't actually see what she's doing on film, and you just say, hey, this is a grandma whose son was killed. The mother is now taking pills and crashing cars, not responsible. Getting custody kind of makes sense, but I think it's the way they're portraying her to us, of all the backhandedness and everything, that we're really rooting against her.
yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. I mean, even though, it might be better for the boys' safety or whatever, as just a viewer, I don't like her, so that's the path we're going down.
Yeah. You mean the Emmy path?
Yeah.
Because she's doing such a good job at being a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's going to win a supporting actress.
Definitely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Add it to her arsenal of million trophies.
So another thing in the beginning is we saw Ed and Nathan kind of run into each other. One's out running, one's cycling. And Nathan tries to apologize and say, hey, we should get along or whatever. And Ed goes, no, there's no reason we need to get along. We could just be comfortable in not liking each other. And,
yeah.
They just kind of were once again fighting with each other. And it's kind of like, all right.
Every episode.
I
they
kinda
get
like
a
this.
little disagreement.
Yeah. But that was a nice little short scene. But Ed seems to be in a lot of scenes in this episode.
Yeah. Him and Madeline go to some off-the-wall, couples retreat. Yeah, and they're just walking around randomly trying to hug people. And
yeah, it's kind of like a seminar. I don't really know.
I don't think they
know.
stayed there very long.
No.
But yeah, even Madeline was like, yeah, sorry, that was crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they kind of get into a fight in the car too. In the episode, she was, singing in the car, trying to get along, and he was just like, ah. And I'm just like, man, he's got a piss poor attitude to everybody right now. Which maybe rightfully, maybe not, but I don't know. I think he needs some sort of an outlet or something to help him move along emotionally.
Yeah. Well, we've seen him talk to, Bonnie a couple times and kind of maybe, he's smiling. So we see something at the end of the episode where he's, smiling a little bit more than I think he should be. But I feel like Madeline is really trying to, sincerely, get back with him and make the marriage work. But I think he's just nowhere near ready for that, or maybe even want to, fix it.
Yeah, then I think he should stop pretending and just say, hey, look, I need time, or I'm not interested in patching, whatever. But
yeah,
he still seems to just kind of hang around, and then he's not interested in anything. So move along then.
Yep.
Ed.
Yeah.
Your favorite person.
Yeah, favorite
But
character.
you do have matching haircuts.
Not for long.
Let's talk about your bestie, Miss Renata. So she found out in this episode she's not being included in the Women of Power.
Nope, because she is no longer on top.
Yeah.
They only want people on top.
She's going bankrupt.
She was pissed about
Yeah,
that.
she was. And then she invites Miss Mary Louise over to have tea. And, of course, Mary Louise has to stick it to her about the bankruptcy.
Yeah, she calls her out for being a working mother, too. Like, she, once again, backhandedly, she's like, it must be tough, missing out on all the kids, X, Y, and Z. And Renata really thought she was going to be the one, putting the screws to her, but
Nope.
no, she found herself
Once
all
again,
filter. And
she let her have it about being a working mom, about having this big old house but no furniture, because you're going through bankruptcy. Yeah, Renata felt like,
How she has
happened
nothing
here? Yeah, this wasn't supposed to go this way.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, she's going down, unfortunately. I didn't like her in the beginning, but she's with this bankruptcy, she's still not level-headed, but
A little
I
more
don't
humanized.
dislike her as much as I did. She's trying to have fun with her kid too while going through all of this. She took her out of school and is just trying to have a fun day with her.
Mm-hmm.
Still have a really nice pool.
They
Yeah,
do
yeah.
for the time being.
Doesn't look like much longer, but
Till the house sells.
yeah. Well, speaking of going down, the three kids took out the bully and put the hurting on him, and I think it was rightfully deserved.
Yeah, Ziggy was getting picked on, and then the twins saw that, hey, let's go help our, brother out.
Yeah.
And they sure did. The bully was like, what are you guys going to do about it? And then you see all three of them just laying into him.
But, how does he know that Ziggy's dad's a rapist now, and he was calling them all out? 7-year-olds don't give a shit about this, even bullies. That seems like a really weird thing.
Yeah, they're making the characters of the kids be involved with this whole storyline, I think, in the wrong way.
Yeah. They could give them another way to do this, but
yeah, I think with all the drama that's happening with the adults, they're involved within it, but not directly involved. Don't make them fighting, calling their parents rapists. I don't think that was necessary.
No.
But regardless, they did it, and he got some stitches. So that's what happens.
And Mary Louise kind of called out Celeste on that after one of the hearings. She goes, "Oh, so how are the boys?" Knowing that they got expelled or suspended from school.
Yeah, and she's not going to bring that up in front of the judge.
Yeah.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yep.
So another weird thing that happens this episode, we see Bonnie has some sort of a singing class for people with sleep apnea. And it looked like they were in yoga poses and they were all singing. And
yeah, her dad stops by.
He's like, what is it?
He's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a cash cow.
Yeah, she said it's a cash cow. So
we finally see her working. I think this is the first time this season we see her actually doing a job.
Mentally, she seemed in a pretty good place this episode, other than,
in the beginning.
Other than her mom, yeah. She wasn't zoning out. She wasn't lost in suburbia anywhere. Seemed to have a pretty good head on her shoulders.
I kind of saw, when she was at the hospital with her mom, holding her hand, she almost started having the same vision that her mom had, of the water and drowning. I don't think it got to the point where she could recognize like it was her, drowning. But I felt like she started to see that vision, and then, it went away. And her dad showed up.
She also had flashbacks of her being a child, though.
Right.
Of the abuse from when she was a child.
Yeah, they definitely started to show that there was some animosity, between not only her and her mom, but her dad, didn't do enough in her eyes to protect her. So I'm sure in the next couple episodes they'll kind of bring that to fruition and see like what happened.
Yeah, well, Nathan was still trying to win her back over, and he buys her a treadmill to try and, I guess, keep her in the house instead of going out for a couple hours.
Right.
And buys her book, and she seemed to kind of smile about that, but maybe she hasn't run on a treadmill yet. It's awful.
Yeah, she's going to want to keep doing what she's doing.
Yeah, especially California. You get a way better view outside.
Mm-hmm. Although it's always cold.
It is always cold there, apparently. We always say it looks like they're in Minnesota the way they're dressing. Oh, we did have an interesting scene. All the women went across the bridge and went and met on a beach to kind of talk about going to court potentially for Celeste's custody. And that when they get put on the stand, they might get called out for Perry's murder, or what happened with Perry. And they were all saying, well, it's perjury if we lie. I don't really know why they're having a change of heart now. I mean, if you keep that same story going, you're golden.
Yeah, obviously the detectives don't have any more evidence other than them.
Yeah.
So, like you said, just stick with your story.
Don't say anything.
And you're going to be fine. But, yeah, the Monterey Five, they get together and have their little secret powwow, in preparation for Celeste's, custody hearing. So they're all thinking about it.
And it looks like towards the end of the episode, Bonnie was thinking about going to turn herself in or tell a story, and she walks up to the police station. I guess let's talk about that. It kind of ends on a musical montage.
Yeah.
Which was very weird.
They haven't done that.
No.
Yeah, they had the music building up, and they finally, boom, there was 2 really good cliffhangers at the end.
Yeah.
So we see Corey walking out of the police station, which Corey is Jane's love interest.
I would say they're dating.
Yeah,
dating co-worker from the zoo or aquarium, whatever it is that she works at. He's walking out of the police station, so whether he's an informant or we don't really know what his part is for that, but he's walking out into his Jeep and he sees Bonnie standing there.
Yeah, maybe they're squeezing him, or maybe he's undercover cop. I mean, could be a lot of different things.
But yeah, thinking back, like, what he's seen, I don't know if he's really seen anything yet.
But what he's been told.
I don't think she's told him anything other than Perry raped her.
Yeah. Yeah, she's divulging, her backstory, but not about that night yet. So I think from what he's seen, it's still got to be clear, for them.
Yeah.
But maybe not for long.
Yeah, what was the other thing that was building up
Well, we
there?
see Ed at the bar, and he's having a couple drinks, and it looks like, a lady comes over who he recognizes, and they start, kind of flirting a little bit, and it looks like it's the wife of the teacher that Madeline had the affair with. And after they've, kind of glancing at each other and, getting a little touchy-feely, you see him sitting just at a table over from the bar, watching everything going on. And it's, weird, like...
Setup?
Yeah, is it a setup? Is he, putting her up for this? Like, what's going on?
Is Ed not seen him yet? He's right there.
So we'll see what comes about that, but Ed's in a little tight spot now.
And the preview for next week showed a lot of stuff happening, but I don't think plot-wise we really know where it's going yet.
Yeah, we see Bonnie actually at the police station, wanting to confess something, but is it in regards to Perry's murder, or is it about something else?
Yeah, something to do with, her mom.
Possibly, so we'll see.
I don't know, next week I think it's going to be... We'll get a little bit of answer to these cliffhangers, but I think it's going to end kind of the same way. I think we're going to have another semi-short episode mixing things up a little bit, and then, the finale will finally get all of our answers, just like the first season. But once again, we don't know after it wraps this season how much further they can go without some other big lie coming up, because eventually the detectives are just not going to care anymore. Or or they're going to arrest somebody and charge them, and then shows and done that way. So I mean, it can't go on forever.
Yeah, I think they've got to wrap it at this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see next episode what happens.
Yep, it's exciting. And you need to catch up on Stranger Things.
We're
already done.
That dropped this weekend, so that's one thing we're going to be talking about in the future.
Yep. It was a good season. I liked it.
Awesome. Well, I think that's everything for this episode, right?
Yep.
Very good. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We're at Southport Media, as always. Like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think about the show. And we'll be back next week for the next episode.
Yep. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.